Okay, I got so many requests to review this game. Here it goes. LeBron, take notes. This is what it looks like to make a free throw when it matters. LeBron, take notes. This is what it looks like to make a three when it matters. That's what clutch looks like. This is what not being the guy looks like. He's a 17% clutch shooter in his career, so you can understand why he passed it. Holy crap, look at Doncic do it again. Come on. Is this real? I mean, sometimes when I download these shot charts of LeBron James, I'm just like, come on, this can't be real. Is this a professional basketball player? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shots missed outside of the restricted zone. He made nothing except within the restricted zone. In other words, right next to the rim, and even missed quite a few of those. Wow, it's just now sinking in to me how bad this was. He only made 9 shots, and you had 2 extra periods, and he still only made 9 shots the whole game. 28 attempts, 24 points. He had more attempts than points, and that's even with the free throws. This is exactly why all those people who are talking about, look how many points he's scoring at this age, have their heads right up their butts, because it doesn't mean anything about good gameplay. Holy crap, more attempts than points? LeBron James is shooting 28.5% from 3, and that drops to 17% if you limit it to shots taken in the clutch. 17%. He missed all 4 of his threes in crunch time against the Mavericks. In fact, he missed every shot he took in the 2 overtime. The only reason he had 2 points at all was because the refs bailed him out here after he commits offensive fouls and then just falls. By the way, when you watch my game breakdown and you see me slow down the footage and zoom in, you're going to be a little bit mind blown at how bad the reffing was. And I mean reffing in LeBron's favor. He got so many calls, and I heard that they claimed he wasn't getting calls. It's crazy ridiculous. In addition to getting help during the plays, he also got help in the form of not getting technicals. He deserved so many technicals for arguing with the refs on plays he wasn't even involved in, and he was completely wrong about. He was arguing when Russ committed the foul on Doncic, tackling him out of bounds. What exactly was your angle of that argument, LeBron? He argued when they intentionally fouled Westbrook multiple times and tried to send Schroeder to the line. What was your argument on that one, LeBron? Man, listen to these stats. LeBron James is shooting 32.7% outside of 10 feet. Only 36.7% on non-rim shots. I gotta leave that one up there. Jeez. When you start pointing things like this out, LeBron fans are quick to go searching for anyone who's ever had a bad game ever. I mean, not just Jordan. You know, if they can't find that Jordan failed on that level, then they'll go and say, hey, look, this guy had a bad game, or this guy had a bad game. It's not about that. This is an argument about someone supposedly being the GOAT. You don't get to go find anyone who's ever had a bad game ever and use that as a measurement tool. By no means do I think that Michael Jordan played every game perfectly. I don't even contend that he didn't have bad games. It's just how many times he rose to the occasion is baffling. You know, when you do it over and over and over again, you start saying, wow. It was delivering in clutch moments that helped people stop looking at Jordan as just this high-flying athletic show. They were like, wow, no, this guy is the real deal. LeBron James has only made 19 of 107 shots in clutch situations during his career. That's 20 years of failure. 19 times in 20 years? 107 opportunities? 17.8% field goal, 12.5% from 3. And I know a lot of that 17.8 was layups, because I can remember one against the Spurs. I was so mad I couldn't understand why they just let him have the layup. But it was at the end of the game, and he went in with an uncontested layup. Nothing particularly memorable, but I guess that's going to count as one of the 19 clutch shots. All right, let's go back to these shots in the Dallas game. Bear in mind that this does not even include these shots. More attempts at the rim that aren't even recorded in history because he missed but got the whistle. It is the new NBA. You can step into 6 legs and fall of your own accord and still get the whistle. Which leads to expectations from a spoiled child who thinks he should be bailed out even when his shot doesn't have a chance in hell of going in. This complete and total quit is during live ball play. Yep. You know, without even looking at the game, just looking at the box score, you can tell that he failed the team when it mattered. Fourth quarter, 4 points, 1 assist. Come on. Then I go to the first overtime, and I see that he was 0 for 2. One of those was a 3-pointer. I can't imagine why he's still... Well, I can't imagine why. I got to stop saying things like that. But regardless, he should not be shooting a 3-pointer. This is the third time this season that I'm aware of in which he's gone 0 for 7 from 3 land, and it just doesn't seem to change his strategy. These 2 points right here, by the way, those are free throws from an undeserved bailout. 0 points in the second overtime. There's Dallas celebrating before the game's even over because they see the ball in LeBron James's hands. My God. The number of times this guy has failed to deliver when it matters by itself should exclude him from even being in the discussion room of all-time greats. Regardless of his accomplishments, to let your team down when it matters most as many times as he has, I mean, can the greatest of all time have a choke gene? Or another way of putting that is not have a clutch gene? Because he doesn't. He doesn't. He's got 20 years worth of playing in which he's made a handful of important shots. The bulk of his career is him failing his team. 0 for 4. So he actually had 4 attempts and couldn't make any of them. He attempted 3 of his 3-pointers in the second overtime? My God. Hey, listen, he's supposed to be a basketball savant. Let's recognize that the refs are going to bail you out. You may not get every single call, but your odds of success are better going at the rim. I know that sounds funny considering that I criticize that the only thing he can make is at the rim. But you also have to recognize that you are a horrible, horrible 3-point shooter. And with the game on the line, that's a bad decision. It's 3 bad decisions just in the second overtime. We've talked a little bit on this channel about LeBron dodging good opponents and coming back for the weak opponents. And the Mavericks are, somewhere in between. They're not great. They're not the worst. But LeBron does usually play against them. And I was wondering why. And I tell you, I saw in the play-by-play stats, he had a lot of putback shots. So he was actually underneath the rim instead of just running down the court. And I'm like, why? And I'm looking at the Mavericks roster, and man, are they short. Or at least compared to LeBron James, they're short. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 people out of 15 that are as tall as LeBron James or taller. LeBron James is taller than almost the entire Dallas Mavericks roster. Wood looks longer. than his height indicates. He's 6'9". So Wood and James are the same height. So the only people taller than James are the centers for the Mavericks. And that would be Powell at 6'10", so he's 1 inch taller than James. If you want to believe that James is only 6'9", he looks 6'10" to me, considering pictures where he's standing next to people. I just realized one of the people I counted was Maxey, and he's out for the season, so he doesn't count. And he was only 6'10" even. Who's there? Oh, McGee. McGee didn't even play, but McGee's 7 foot, and Bertans is 6'10". Bertans only played 6'48" the whole game, so I don't even know if it's worth mentioning him and his height. So basically the Mavericks play small ball, and LeBron took advantage of that, which you can't blame him for that. That's Jesus, LeBron was 32%. What I'm looking for is Thomas Bryant's minutes. So Thomas Bryant's had 50% of LeBron James's minutes. And, well, this is just another example of catering to LeBron James. They allowed LeBron James to feast at the expense of the team. Why on earth would you not use Thomas Bryant more? Why would you not use your 6'10", 7'6" wingspan center against this team, this small team? Eat them up. LeBron James had 46 minutes, 45 seconds. Thomas Bryant had 23 minutes, 34 seconds. Getting a little deep now, but man, I think I might be onto something. LeBron James wanted to take advantage of the smaller team, play big, play tough on the inside. I certainly saw him going after rebounds more than he normally does. I guess that's a conscious decision, knowing the size of the people you're up against. And Thomas Bryant got weak minutes as a result. Thomas Bryant paid the price for catering to LeBron James. I don't want you guys to ignore that. You tell me if I'm crazy or if I'm onto something. This is a great pass from Schroeder, but the reason I'm showing it to you is what the announcer says.
By everybody, even with a dribble.
Even with a dribble. Is this the next level of overhyping the guy?
LeBron, 1-on-4, and LeBron gets by everybody, even with a dribble.
We have to be thankful that he finally dribbles instead of just traveling the entire way down the court. And look, I'll give LeBron props for getting down there and for still, running. But the thing is that he only runs on the plays he chooses to run on, which are the ones where he knows he's going to get a layup. I actually tried to give LeBron a compliment there, and I still couldn't do it. Look, he ran past those guys. Whether he's actually faster than those 20-somethings or if they just know they aren't allowed to challenge him is where I start to have a hard time with the full compliment. But back to the announcer. What the hell does he mean, even with a dribble? This is one of the plays that stood out to me while I was previewing, and it really bugs me. So let's take another look at it, because why does LeBron think he's so robbed here? I mean, you could argue a foul, possibly, but look at Luka. I mean, that's what you're coached to play defense. That is great position. And look, even if you want to argue that it was a foul, it's not like it was a ridiculous call. I mean, LeBron, do you care about the game that's going on? That's worth quitting? It's pretty obvious he was hoping for a bailout the way he just threw the thing up into the air. Watch this part closely. Who's creating the contact here? Look at the arm swinging. Which leads me to a question I always ask with LeBron James. What is the defense allowed to do? I mean, that looks like good defense to me. And you can argue that I'm wrong. You can argue that I'm wrong. I mean, I would argue back because I don't understand the argument, but that is not a play in which someone got robbed. I mean, LeBron did not get arm raped or hit or anything like that in a manner that deserves for him to be disgusted and quit playing in a game where they're down. He even took his mouthpiece out, so you know he's not interested in helping on D. Look, man, if you got the hell robbed out of you, maybe then we can justify quitting. Maybe then we can justify that you don't care to get back to the other end and it's worthwhile to create a scene with the ref. But this is not one of those. Does anyone think LeBron thanked Gabriel for putting this garbage into the hoop? Answer is no. Here's LeBron forcing it again, expecting a bailout. He completely loses it and then shrugs his shoulders after getting bailed out by the refs. Look, shrugging your shoulders after a great play is one thing. Shrugging your shoulders when the refs bailed your ass out, I mean, you've got to know that you didn't get fouled. Here's another one that'll be worth looking at later. Like Wood and James are acting like they got fouled. James quits. Wood is holding his face, but at least running up the court. We'll save that for the full-length breakdown. You know the story of the boy that cried wolf? Well, when LeBron grabs his face every goddamn play, every game, it's hard to take him seriously. I mean, did he get hit in the face here or not? God only knows. The sad thing is that his behavior is going to be the same either way. Well, check that. If he did get hit in the face, he'd fall on the ground. Whether or not he got hit in the face or not, he doesn't care whether or not there's integrity to the game. He just knows what he has to do to get bullshit points. And he's learned over the years that he will get the bullshit call and the bullshit points. So whether he got hit in the face here or not no longer matters. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to perform the same antics. This is like rewarding a spoiled child. And the spoiled child's behavior only gets worse. This one where LeBron travels with an up and down will be worth reviewing in the full-length version. All right, this one I included because LeBron didn't even have the ball, and look how many offensive fouls he commits. He ends up getting blocked, and I think he goes out of bounds, and then he complains about not getting a foul call. But look at him. There's shove one. Then he shoves the guy behind him. The guy behind him gets in front. He shoves him again so that he can get open. Wow, that rebound landed right in his lap. Wood blocks him. For perspective, look what they call Wood for at the other end. That's an offensive foul on Wood. Man, the abuse Wood has been taking from LeBron at the other end, and then to get called for this, I wouldn't be able to keep my shit together. I guess this stood out to me because there's first shove. Because he wants every foul call. He gives that guy an elbow. He goes flying. And then he shoves him forward, hoping to get open underneath. I mean, he plays crazy physical basketball and expects a foul call when someone comes anywhere near him when he's driving. And driving aggressively, I might add. And this is exactly why I turn the audio off when I'm reviewing these, because I'll never get anywhere if I start analyzing the announcers. I mean, listen to Van Gundy.
Great effort by James to come up with that.
Great effort by James to come up with that. It fell directly into his crotch. Like it bricked at a right angle down into his lap. There was no effort whatsoever. This is just hideous. I mean, it's a hideous shot. It's a hideous play. It's lazy. It's mentally lazy. It's physically lazy. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's a horrible decision. It's off balance. It's off one leg. It's a three-pointer from someone who can't shoot three-pointers. How can you possibly defend this play? I'm just rambling at this point, but you will be shocked at some of the calls, not just in LeBron's favor, but in the Lakers' favor in general, and a lot of other things that I point out in the 5-part video. So go to the playlist, and I hope you'll watch it.